Hey guys, so Let's Play videos are not dead, all right? This is something that I do think needs to be talked about, and I think that there should at some point in time be some sort of discussion about this. I bring this up because I was interacting earlier today on a Twitter thread that was about this subject where another content creator talked about how normal Let's Play videos are dead, 99% of the audience is going towards the same content creators, and there's just simply no room for a new content creator to come in. It looks like a airtight argument. You know as well as I do, if you're watching these videos, that a lot of content creators in Football Manager world will create additional videos that talk about other things related to Football Manager, like how to create this type of tactic, or what have I created videos about before, right? Why we don't play inconsistent players, why the problem might not be your tactics, and so on and so forth, right? And it is true that these videos do attract other viewers, right? Like there's a reason why you do this. If you don't do this, then you end up one of these content creators who never gets more than 10 views in a video. I've seen these guys. I know who these guys are. I feel really bad for them. Having said that, though, this doesn't mean that the Let's Play world is dead, right? In fact, if you go backwards through the history of YouTube and even to Let's Plays before YouTube, I'm talking about stuff that was on something awful and websites like that, you will notice that people have always said that Let's Play content is dead. This is a very, very, very old argument that comes back time after time after time, and despite the fact that there are new content creators who at one point in time were not creating content, the general accepted wisdom is that no, all this stuff is dead and it can't come around and you'll never have success doing it, is not true. It's not true. If you are interested in being a Football Manager content creator, you can do so and you can have success. You can actually have success right from step number one, but you have to be creative about it and you have to know what part of your personality to showcase and what part not to showcase, and you have to kind of know what you do well and what you don't do well. Now, if you're like me, if you're kind of an idiot, you're not even British, right? You're just this sort of American guy who's kind of flubbing around and doing a bunch of random stuff that might work and might not, you're going to look pretty dumb. You're going to look pretty bad when you try to put it out there, but you can have success and you can get people to watch your videos, and you can do things that are interesting from time to time. What's required is a bit of hard work, but not as much as you would think. What's really required is having a good attitude about it and having some fun, because that's what people want to watch. So one of the things I've learned about YouTube, not just in creating my own videos, but also in watching YouTube content, is that the thing that really attracts people to a certain YouTube channel is the personality of the content creator more than anything else, right? I think about channels that I personally watch from time to time that involve games that I don't play, right? Give you a very specific example. When I was a kid, I was in middle school, I played Magic the Gathering a lot. This is in the mid 90s, about late 90s, right? I played with the old Ice Age set. If you know your Magic the Gathering, I know a lot of people play it. By the time I was playing with it, this stuff was pretty old, but it was easy to get, right? It was cheap. And so that's the reason why my buddies and I played it. I haven't played Magic the Gathering since 1999, right? That's 24 years, I'm not that interested in the game, but I will watch people like Tolarian Community College or Alpha Investments or some of the other larger Magic the Gathering YouTube content creators. Sometimes I watch them just because I want to hear the voice. I want to hear somebody else talk. I want to know what they think about some subject that most people don't talk about, right? There are people on YouTube who like to watch this, and you will notice if you create your own channel and you start creating content, you create it regularly, that you start to attract people who are interested in hearing your voice. They're interested in knowing about your personality. If you have a passion for a game, it will show, right? If you're really, really passionate about Football Manager, you spend a lot of time learning about it, and you have a lot of interesting things to say when you play the game, and you're not just making sarcastic comments like me, you're going to find that a lot of people are attracted to that. They're attracted to your passion. They're attracted to your knowledge, even if they're not a fan of the game, even if they're not really that deep into what's happening, right? This is something that you can use to your advantage when you're trying to figure out ways to attract an audience and to get them to stay, right? That is more important. Your personality, your feel for the game, the way that you feel about it, your enthusiasm for the game, and some of the creative ideas you have, that's more important than having a great camera. That's more important than having a whole bunch of editing on your videos. It's more important than spending, 50 hours, 70 hours, 80 hours, whatever on a video. It's even more important than your thumbnail or than your title, right? I really, really mean this, and that attitude and that you bring into it is really, really the key, I believe, to sustained and long-term success on YouTube. I'll give you a couple of examples of content creators that I watch from time to time that sort of buck against this trend and these ideas that will come from various, usually smaller content creators about how content should be made, right? So, Penguin Zero, Penguin 0, right? You've probably watched this guy. I watch a whole ton of this guy's videos, right? He talks about stuff that I don't care about. He'll talk about like YouTube drama and stuff. I don't care at all about that stuff, but I like him. I like his personality. I like his approach. I like the way that he talks about stuff, right? You'll notice that his videos will be like slightly edited, but not totally. Some of them come straight from streams, and he's just cutting out the stream stuff and puts on whatever it is that, he thinks is interesting. I'll watch his videos as much as I'll watch somebody like Linus Tech Tips, Linus has all of that, very, very good post-production. He employs a very good team that will do a lot of editing and will make it so that like this part of this thing or that part of that thing stands out. Sometimes I want to watch that, sometimes I don't, right? Sometimes I want to watch a video where it's literally a person in front of the camera talking like a normal person, right? I also watch a lot of Louis Rossmann, right? And this is another person that if you don't watch him, you really should go watch him, right? The reason why I like watching Louis Rossmann is not because I'm like a tech geek who wants to go fix, this stupid iMac computer that keeps driving me nuts, or because I'm gonna like take my iPad and rip it apart or something like that. No, the reason why I watch Rossmann is because he's very, very passionate about subjects that he talks about. He knows a lot about them, and when I watch it, I learn stuff. Even if I'm not, mechanically inclined, I literally am not, right? If you want me to fix something, I'm the wrong guy to come to. Go talk to my son. My 13-year-old son is the one who has that gift. I don't, right? But I still enjoy listening to what this guy says, and I like hearing about his take, especially on topics of political importance and things like right to repair, right? That makes me very, very attracted to the sort of videos that he makes, even though I'm technically not in his target audience. Now, this can apply to any type of video, including Football Manager Let's Play videos, right? And that's sort of the mentality I think that you have to have behind this. Instead of looking at YouTube and saying, oh man, the algorithm's against me, right? There's nothing that I can do. No one's going to watch this stuff, This has all been done before. It's not interesting, and having a negative approach. You really should be looking at your YouTube content creation and saying, okay, what is it that I can do? What can I do here to make myself different, to differentiate myself, and to create content that maybe is not out there yet, or that speaks to audiences that might be underserved? I'll give you a real simple example of this, right? So, if you look right now today on my YouTube channel, you'll see I have like 160 subscribers, right? That's not a whole ton. That's definitely a lot more than I had when I started, right? And I've watched as the average watch time has gone up. My bad days right now are better than my good days were like 3 months ago, right? I mean, that tells me that there's an audience and that it's growing. That's not a sign that, oh, this is completely dead and nothing works, right? I started a different channel focused around baseball simulators, right? Which is something that most people who play Football Manager probably are not that interested in. Now, the channel that I started, it featured me playing games that are not commonly featured on YouTube, right? One of them, Diamond Mine Baseball, is a game that arguably is about 15 to 20 years outdated. The other one, the Skeetersoft NP3 game, is a card and dice game that arguably does not translate well to YouTube at all. I intersperse those games with some commentary on the world of baseball replays or playing baseball simulators and some of the other things, comments on some other things that are happening within the sport of baseball. And guess what? I've found an audience, right? I was shocked. The first video I put up was of me playing a Diamond Mine Baseball game. From what I could see on YouTube, there had not been sort of a Let's Play style Diamond Mine Baseball video with commentary for something like 2 years, right? You talk about like vidIQ and TubeBuddy and stuff like that. I mean, this stuff wasn't coming up at all in the search recommendations, right? Anybody who knows anything about SEO would tell me, dude, you're wasting your time. Why even try that? I had a view within the first hour of uploading it, right? And a subscriber and a guy who told me, thank you for uploading this. I've wanted to see this type of content for a while, and it's grown and it continues to grow. That's why I'm telling you it's not dead. The fact that nobody's doing it does not mean that there's no market for it, right? I'm serious. If you take the right approach, if you don't get upset because you don't have like 1 million subscribers overnight, or because you didn't suddenly turn into PewDiePie or Mr. Beast overnight, if you take the right approach and if you're patient and if you do what you love to do and you let your enthusiasm shine, the views will come and people will find your videos. I promise you that it will work. I know that it will work because it's working for me right now. In other words, and the big takeaway from this is that Let's Play is not dead. And, these discussions I keep getting into and these things I keep hearing from other content creators are very self-defeating and are probably indicative of some sort of underlying problem, some sort of underlying depression or something like this that's going on. If you're going to create content, don't do the stuff that everybody else is doing, right? Don't go around and be like, oh, everyone's talking about Chat GTP or GPT, whatever it's called. I'm going to go mess around with that for a long time and post a bunch of stupid videos about it. Yeah, I mean, it can work, but you're just sort of chasing after a dragon. You're chasing after this trend or that trend. Don't do that, man. Do stuff that you care about. Do stuff that you love. If you do stuff that you care about and you love, you'll be happier when you make your video, and it'll be easy for us to see that, oh, you actually enjoy what you're doing. That's attractive, right? You don't know what the next trend's going to be. I don't know. Maybe the next trend will be playing with card and dice baseball games, and I'm going to make my family, $1 billion or whatever. I really doubt it, right? But what I do know is that people who are curious about these games will now have a place to go where they can watch somebody else play it and watch somebody talk about some of the arcane details of the games, right? I know that if somebody's curious about this, NCAA college, whatever football manager database that I'm playing with right now, and they're like, what is this thing? How does it work? Well, now if you do a search for it on Google or on YouTube, you can find my videos and check it out. And you'll be like, oh, that part's interesting. This part really sucks. I'm not going to try it, right? That's it. I become the guinea pig. That's more than fine. You can watch my videos and be like, hey, this is really weird. This doesn't work. You can interact with me. You can talk with me about it, right? That's what the whole thing's about, right? In other words, when you're doing this, you need to get your head away from like, let me do the thing that I'm sure is going to make a lot of money because so-and-so did this or such and such did this. If that's where your attitude is, in the end, you're not going to be successful. You need to stop chasing after trends, and instead you need to start thinking about what can I do that's going to differentiate myself? What can I do that's going to get people to see how enthusiastic I am about the topic? And, what can I do that will give people something good to talk about or to listen to, right? What can I talk about that will help people want to talk about the subject, want to engage with me? Anyway, there you go. I know that this is a real dangerous video to make because I'm a very, very small content creator. I don't have a very large following. I don't have a huge following on Twitter or on any of this other stupid stuff that people use, right? I know that I'm probably the wrong person and the last person in the world to say this, but I'm telling you that it's not dead and that success can be had even if you're small. Love to talk about this with you in the comments. See you there. Bye.